Alright, now I'm going to talk about Skylink Entertainment. It is an Indian film production and distribution company based in Marathi. 2022 to the present. There is a blue galaxy on a blue space, and inside it, there is a purple and blue diamond shape, and inside the diamond shape, there is a black letter S, and under it, there is the word Skylink Entertainment in white text. Here is an intro.
Has been the previously neutral Nordic country.
In the 523 in Puebla. So the first thing to notice about this, well, you have a really nice,
What are some interesting body contortions to get in? There are no doors like a UTV. It basically has this steel frame rail which holds you in the cockpit, as is the bucket seat. So even though this vehicle is very low to the ground, it has no doors, it's actually a little bit hard to get into. If you were someone who's disabled or had limited body movement, this vehicle would be a little bit tough to get in. So it definitely requires some interesting body contortions, more than it would a low-sung sports car. But once you're seated at the control, this bucket seat, especially the Slingshot R's premium bucket seat, it's nice. It holds you in very nicely. I like the amount of adjustment it has forward and aft. We have the seat in the most rearward position. We're 6 feet tall, and it's in the most rearward position. If you were a tall person, I could see how this vehicle might be a little cramped for you. But for a 6-foot body, it is very nice. This vehicle also has tilt. So the arm stuff has tilt. You can tilt the seat forward or back. We have the seat in the most rearward tilt position, and it is pretty good. Again, if you were over 6 feet tall, we could see how this vehicle could be a little cramped for you. This vehicle in traditional automotive terms, it has tilt steering. So you can move the steering wheel up or down however you connect, move it in or out. It does not have telescopic steering. Let's put it right here. I think telescopic steering would be a nice feature. Realistically, even cargo vans have telescopic steering now, so it would be nice if this $30,000 vehicle had it. Alright folks, this Polaris Slingshot R is powered by Polaris Industries 1997 CC ProStar inline 4, 2-liter inline 4, 16 valve dual overhead can, water cooled. This engine was unveiled a few years ago, and it serves as the engine that powers the Slingshot, obviously, and Polaris' new RZR inline 4 powered UTV. So this is the engine that powers this vehicle. This engine was modeled after GM's Ecotec engine, which the prior generation Slingshot used. So in 2020, Polaris went to its own ProStar inline 4. Before that, it was the GM Ecotec engine, which was an inline 4 engine that was used decades ago in a variety of vehicles. So have their own powertrain, because it's always better to have your own powertrain. So you have your own stuff, you control it, and that's just better. So they engineered their own inline 4 engine, and that now powers this engine. We talked about it in previous Slingshot reviews, how this Polaris engine feels very similar to that GM Ecotec engine, but it has a little bit more pep. This particular Slingshot engine is rated at 203 horsepower at the crank. 203 horsepower, 25 more than the Slingshot SR we tested last year for the 2022 model year. So an additional 25 horsepower, and gosh, you really feel it. The thing is a lot more peppy than the 2022 Slingshot non-automatic was. It's pretty interesting how Polaris is able to just boost the power through programming changes. So it's cool to see that there's a lot of uncorked potential inside this engine. It's got a really nice visceral sound. Like the engine note, the exhaust note, just the auto sounds good. And give it the beam to get up and say, yeah! Woo! Now we have an Aisin 5-speed transmission. Aisin is a Japanese transmission company. This Aisin transmission is the same type of transmission that was used in older Chevy Colorados and Isuzu Troopers. So again, while the Co-Star engine is basically all new for the 2020 model year, it was loosely coined off GM Ecotec engine, which was a older style inline four for many years ago, moved to an older style Aisin 5-speed transmission. But while the transmission's old in architecture, it works really good. I really like the way the transmission feels, the throws between each of the 5 gears. Not too long. I mean, it's a little bit long, but it's not crazy. Engine shifts really smoothly. The hydraulically actuated dry clutch has really nice push on the lever. The lever push is really, the pedal push is really light, and it has good response. It's fun driving a manual speed automobile type transmission. I haven't operated a vehicle with this type of gearbox in many years. Well, actually, probably since the last time we operated the Slingshot. That's our last calendar year. So I like the transmission. Now, as usual, Polaris offers its optional auto drive automatic transmission. Now, basically what that is,
A lot of weed. We're as exposed, more exposed than any convertible I've been in. Yes. Almost like a motorcycle, but it's not quite. As soon as I got in this, I noticed the changes that they made. The engine, while it's not exactly a Civic Type R engine, it's that happy, right? Steering ratio is really quick. Yeah. It's 2.5 turns. Lots a lot. Yeah, it's really direct. You never have to input more than 90 degrees of steering. It gets the feel. Yeah. It's direct. The pedals are well laid out for heel and toe. The clutch pedal is very easy, and in fact, you can take off from the seat without adding any force at all. When I got in my car yesterday after driving in for 3 hours, I was like, what's wrong with my clutch? Right. Even though it had brembo grips, it only had 3 brembo grips. And so what I've actually found is, despite the low weight of the vehicle, I've been able to get these brakes pretty hard on the back down the line. And I don't think they really have the stopping power that the name Brembo implies they might. No, I drove this car on this road yesterday, and I was even on uphill. I was like, am I not pressing it hard enough? Are the brakes manual? And I went all the way to the floor in a straight line past the panic braking, and it's just straight up under brake. So I don't know if it needs new comms or high performance pads. I guess it only has 3 brakes.
but it does not stop as quickly as it accelerates.
Right, and then I put the other back in play. I asked the GM performance guys about this yesterday. The rotors could be thinner, right? Or possibly it could have cheap, everyday fluid in them, right? Or the pad could be a street optimized, self-screen pad.
Or they have really soft rubber lines that can collect the tire. But basically, for having Brembos in a vehicle that's so quick, they're 64 and a half, they feel quicker than that.
Right.
I mean, look at this light in the right.
It does feel quick. It is quick, but how are the weights? I mean, whatever the number says, sitting here, it feels quick.
Yeah. And the top speed is limited to 125, which I think, one, is a good idea.
Yeah.
Two, it's possible what it would do, because third goes to like 90 something. And there's 2 gears left after that. Okay. Stay in this bump.
So, as you might imagine, there are a couple of downsides to having only 3 wheels.
Rockford Fosgate system. It's got a multi-speaker system. There's 2 speakers, one on each side of the door. There's also these tweeters right here. And this thing rocks. It sounds really good, especially compared to the bass sound system. Yeah. This is fun, boys and girls. Of course, we can mute the audio easily with these buttons on the left side of the steering wheel. Very easy to use the buttons. You can turn up or down the music too. Sip. Let's take a look here. Yes, the curvy road. This is where the slingshot is meant to be operated. God, this engine is way more torquey and powerful than the slingshot SL was. Now this vehicle weighs right around 1,700 pounds with a full 20 gallons of fuel. And at below 50 miles per hour, this vehicle is awesome. This game is awesome. It feels like a little spot car, go-kart. Very fun to operate. Unlike other vehicles, this three-wheel motorcycle is rear-wheel drive, so it puts power back to the 20-inch wide 20-inch wheels. The big 300 series tend to meet that belt final drive and a motorcycle-type swing arm. The rear suspension is motorcycle-based with a swing arm and a shock and a belt final drive. So that's where it puts power back to. Stability control helps keep things in line. God, this thing is hot. Now, suspension travel wise, we have right over 4 inches of travel up front and just over 5 at the rear. And the ride quality of this vehicle is pretty rough. You're definitely going to feel the bumps in the road. But like we said before, below 60 miles per hour, this thing offers real intimate handling. And it's very responsive and the bumps don't really bother us. However, over that speed, this vehicle, over 60 miles per hour, the vehicle just feels crazy. Dances around a lot. The suspension rides really roughly. And it's just, it's not, I'm going through the 5-speed gearbox on this thing. Feels like you're driving a sports car. Oh God, I love those brakes. Thank God that they upgraded the brakes on this vehicle. The Slingshot SL's brakes were mediocre at best. And these 4-piston Brembos up front, which we'll talk about in a little bit, are much better. Below 60 miles per hour, below 70, this thing is an absolute hoot to drive. So visceral. I love the way the Pro-Star engine sounds. It sounds like a racing car. It's just the mess between each of the 5 cars. Oh yeah. That was so much fun, folks. Brakes on this vehicle, the Slingshot R, is endowed with triple disc hydraulic brakes. They are linked, so unlike a motorcycle where the front and rear brakes are operated independently, these are linked together just like an automobile with a center brake pedal. And the brakes on this vehicle are much better. 4-piston Brembo calipers up front. They grab oversized, vented, non-cross-curl rotors with a vented, non-cross-curl rotor at back being pinched by a single piston caliper. I was never a fan of the Slingshot brakes. Obviously, on the original 2015 Slingshot, the brakes were pretty much horrible. Then they updated them, they got a little bit better, but still not great. Well, finally, with the Slingshot R, you have capable brakes. Wouldn't say they're totally awesome, but they are far more capable than previous iterations. And to me, I would absolutely snap these brakes if I had this car and snap these brakes. If I didn't have these brakes, I would not be happy. So good job, Polaris. Thank you for updating this thing and putting on nice, capable brakes, of course. 6 always on ABS to make sure no one was behind me. This is closed course testing. So always on ABS mitigates the chance of vehicles instability during braking because neither of the 3 wheels can lock up. Alright folks, we got a little construction here. I still do like the swept style analog gauges. I love swept style analog gauges. So that'd be kind of cool if Polaris and Slingshot integrated that into a new display, but this display is just way too old looking. I need to update it, especially for the MSRP of this vehicle, which is $7,000 more than the last Slingshot SL we test drove last calendar year. Isn't that crazy? $33 grand for this thing. And then if you want the auto drive transmission, it's $2,000+ on top of that. Whoa. This thing is expensive. But these premium bucket seats, the interior lighting, these big tires, the Brembo brakes, this cool windshield, and that sport vented hood. I know, these are really nice features. I would definitely want these features. Let's turn the seat heat on. That's right. This Slingshot R is equipped with seat heaters and seat cooling. Now, the seat heaters and seat cooling, unlike an automobile, this Slingshot, each seat uses a heat pump. So it uses a heat pump-like device to heat up and cool down the seats. And it actually works. When we interviewed the Polaris Slingshot VT, he was talking about this feature. He said, yeah, it actually works pretty good. I'm like, no way. There's no way it can work pretty good. It's a heat pump, a little one at that, I'm sure. But we're not joking. It works great. Seat heaters work really nice. You push a button here on the front of the bucket lip. There's a red or a blue icon. It has multi-level adjustment. We have the heat crank. Conversely, if it's a hot day, you can put it in max cool. And it's not going to cool you down significantly, but it's going to add a degree of comfort. Right now, we are operating the Slingshot R in 55-degree ambient Fahrenheit temperature, and that's a real sweet spot for this vehicle. Last year we just drove the Slingshot SL. The engine heat in the cockpit was borderline excessive. Obviously, if you're operating this vehicle in mild, moderate weather, it's not that big of a deal, but if you were driving this thing in Miami, oh my god, you'd be burning alive. This sport vented hood does a really good job of cooling things down inside the cockpit. Not only that, it looks cool, and the aerodynamics have been reshaped so it flaps less at speed. again, this sport vented hood is something that we would absolutely want on our slingshot. Here we go. I love how much character this ProStar engine has, especially in all configuration with the power boost. Definitely a lot more character than the GM Ecotech version. Good job, Polaris. We like that you're paying attention to the details in making for a more visceral operating experience. Whoa, did you see that guy cross the yellow line, that crazy person? Now, it's worth noting that this Polaris slingshot isn't subjected to modern automotive safety standards. There's no crumple zones. There's no supplemental restraint systems besides the seatbelt. Polaris has engineered these rollover style tubes in the back of the vehicle on each side, which help protect the occupant in the case of a rollover. But aside from that, there really isn't a lot of safety in this thing. Because this vehicle rides so low to the ground, it's very easy for someone to not see you, especially in a big pickup truck. So make sure when you're operating this vehicle, you're of course wearing the dot labeled headwear. We always wear gloves no matter what power sport vehicle we are operating. And make sure you are paying attention to the road in front of you and operating the vehicle within the limits of your ability. We've talked about it before. Safety is paramount. That's paramount ethos here at Motorcyclist Magazine. And if you want to become a better rider or driver, seek professional training. We want everyone to have a long, safe life in the power sports world. Right now we are operating this vehicle at 50 miles per hour. There is a little bit of vibration through the controls, but not too much. Get the engine revving, then you feel some engine vibration. Still not bad. Oh yeah! Rev limiter cuts things out. Look at the roar of this engine. What a heat it is to drive. Steering feels very precise, especially under 60-65 miles per hour. Polaris says this vehicle is good for 125 miles per hour. It's limited at that speed. We're going to take their word for it. Like we said before, this vehicle gets above 70 or 80 miles per hour. It just gets a little too darty. It doesn't go with them for a well, rides real rough, and it just is a little bit too unstable for us at those speeds. But below 70, 65 miles per hour, Now this Slingshot R is also equipped with this dark smoke windshield. During the day it's awesome. I like it a lot. But at night it definitely reduces the ability to see in front of you, see what's going on in front of you. Definitely a nice touch, but I'd almost want a clear one, because a clear one would be more conducive to operation day or night. Alright folks, here we go. Maintenance on this vehicle. Polaris says it wants you to change the engine oil and filter at 5,000 RPM increments. The rear differential, it's not quite a rear differential, but it's a rear differential-like device which transfers power between the transmission and the belt final drive. It wants you to change the fluid in there every 10,000 miles initially, and then a little bit longer duration afterwards. Polaris has a really neat video series on YouTube on how operators can service that component themselves. air filters should be changed every 15,000 miles, and fuel filters at 25,000 miles. If you can believe it, this vehicle goes a whopping 30,000 miles between valve inspection intervals. Isn't that crazy? 30,000 miles. Good job, Polaris. That's longer duration than even Yamaha motor vehicles with its parallel twin MT R7 engine, which is right around 26,600 miles. Good job, Polaris. This vehicle has a 2-year warranty on it. 2 years. Extended protection is also available. Yeah. Things so on there, the traffic control coming in, making sure we don't get too sideways. This thing's just a hoot to drive at low speeds. I love it. It's so fun. Yeah. Now, of course, we operated this vehicle at night. It wouldn't be a Motorcyclist magazine evaluation on our terms without an evaluation of the headlights of this vehicle. Now, while it looks like this vehicle has headlights on either side of the front of it, it actually doesn't. Those are just positioning LED lights. The center beam, that does the heavy lifting of the headlight. The headlight on this vehicle, it performs okay. I think it should be brighter. It should be brighter and it should fall. It should throw a farther stream of light to the road ahead, especially for the vehicle MSRP. Most automobiles these days will have a better headlight setup. Even most motorcycles will have better headlight setups than this vehicle. Polaris, we'd like you to step up the lighting on this vehicle. While it definitely looks awesome, it is not as functional as it should be. It's worth noting that this vehicle has full LED head beams and full headlight bulbs front and rear, and the positioning lights of this vehicle at night, it looks awesome. Definitely looks awesome, but more show than it is go. Oh, those seat heaters are working really good, folks. Fuel mileage wise, we have averaged right around 28 miles per gallon with this Slingshot. We haven't been driving it too fast. I mean, obviously we go through the gears at lower speeds, but we're not cruising at 90 down the freeway like we would on a motorcycle. So right around 28 mpgs with a fuel capacity just under 10 gallons. It's worth noting that Polaris wants its drivers to run 91 octane unleaded fuel. Doesn't want you to run E85. E85 fuel is a no-go for this 1997 CCI engine. Now the neat thing about this Slingshot R is that you can be operated with your passenger sitting right next to you. It is much more of an intimate and social riding experience than you would on a motorcycle when the person's behind you. You're here, collecting in the car, a drop-top car with no roof. Of course, Polaris offers roof options for those who want to have some protection from the elements. But this standard Slingshot R configuration, there is no roof. But it's neat. It's a posture fastener. Obviously, we don't have anyone, so we're going to have to make up to come to our imaginary friend Jim. Hey, Jim, how's it going? Just joking. But nice social experience when you're operating these Slingshots. And that's why these things really are so cool. These things aren't really about getting anywhere fast. Obviously, you can't rain filter. These three-wheel autocycles don't enjoy many of the benefits of a traditional automobile, but at the same time, they're cool because they draw a lot of attention. You're going to get more attention in this $33,000. You're going to get more attention in this $33,000 Slingshot than you are a $200,000 Ferrari. And that's the facts, Jack.
Dynamically, you have just over half the rear lift you probably should have.
Right.
Which means getting the power down is a challenge. It also means the back gets pretty light under braking. And of course, when you have grounding in the road, the back becomes a little unstable.
Well, the other thing is, when you're in a corner and you get some lean in the front, because we have wonderful double whistles up front. First suspension is nice. But when you're in a corner and not lean, the back doesn't hit lean. Well, no, it's more static. So I don't know if it actually compresses or not.
You get traction on the top of second there?
Yeah. Well, peak torque is 65.
Oh, yeah.
And when I drove this yesterday, it would just roll on and just light up the car. The thing is, there's still so much power even below that peak torque line. Really quick. So here's something interesting about it. This car is 6 inches wider than a 992 GT3.
No way.
The front track width is 6 inches wider than a GT3 track width.
That's so...
Isn't that wild? I mean, it has a front end that is almost suited for cup racing. That's why the front is so nice.
Yeah. No, the front edge is actually awesome.
Great, yeah.
Like, it turns in so sharp.
It's like a Lotus.
Yeah.
It's like the Lotus, and it's not this front. Steering is electronic power assist. When you go from comfort to slingshot, it firms up the steering a little bit. And it's actually variable ratio, so it really gets a little quicker. It's so wild to me though, like the front is so like thick and agile and it moves around, but then I just don't feel comfortable with the back.
No, it's a myth.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as good as it could be with 3 wheels.
Right.
Like, what do you do?
Credit to the Polaris engineers for re-engineering the thing, because a lot of it is really good. This picture is close to how Honda feels. Like, it's somewhere between VW and Honda. It's like really accurate. I like the way the crispness of it, the landing, but it also you can shift quickly. It's not like Corvette, you gotta kind of like
No, it's more Miata. It's not,
Yeah.
It may actually be a Miata here.
It's not like a Miata. God, third, yeah. It's up there in the miles per hour.
I feel like I could die at any second.
Dude, a van came around the corner yesterday over the yellow line, and I watched my wife stop to look at it.
The helmet feels performative, like I can stand full leather.
I feel all of the imperfections of the road coming through like the back and front.
What would happen? What do you think would happen if you put like all this stuff in?
I have no idea. If someone out there is an engineer, put in the comment, what does one swing arm do in the back? Because in the motorcycle, it looks like a lead.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have that.
It is a unique motoring experience, right? And that is what, we all are kind of seeking. So if you wanted something super light, engaging, fast, and you don't really care if it looks kind of silly or if it's compromised in an interesting way, it's not a terrible option, honestly.
Yeah, it's not.
You don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah. And out of the three, there's this the one and three-wheeler with Vanderhall. Vanderhall is a little smaller than this, makes a lot more torque, but it's more expensive.
Front-wheel drive.
Yeah.
That's no
And
bueno.
the weight bias, I drove one years ago, maybe they changed it, but the weight balance was terrifying.
Yeah, I drove one too. It was awesome.
And then the Morgan, very cool looking, also goes to 103 miles an hour, which is wild. But it starts at like 55 grand, gets more expensive. And the Morgan is more of like an appearance piece.
Yeah, and art. And we haven't driven the new one. The Super 3, the one I loved had a motorcycle engine. Sounded like World War II aircraft. But now they put a car engine in it.
Like, it's crazy. If you're someone who really wants to have a lot of attention, should get one of these slingshots, because these things are going to make you instantly cool, if that's who you want to be. But at the same time, when you have this vehicle, it's gonna attract a lot of attention, good and bad. So law enforcement's gonna be staring at you, everyone's gonna be staring at you, waiting for you to do something wrong. So if you don't want to be under the spotlight, don't buy this vehicle. Or if you do, and you don't want to spend a ton of money, this slingshot actually brings up a lot of value from that point of view. Love the sound system in this thing. Totally worth it. Obviously the road noise drowns things out, sort of, but you can still hear it. The optical clarity of these speakers is really good too. Of course you can turn tracks with this button here. Look at that hawk, that was beautiful. Now this slingshot, obviously, although it's highway capable, this isn't a vehicle you really want to be doing a long distance touring on. The suspension rides relatively roughly. There's not a lot of wind protection. I mean, this windshield does a nice job of shielding riders from the driver or occupants, from the elements, but there's not a whole lot of protection from the elements. Of course, if you purchase the accessory roof, that would help for sure. But touring is not really something in the Polaris' skill set. But for running around town, short shots, absolutely within its wheelhouse. It's so fun to go through the gearbox in this thing. Now this Polaris slingshot also fitted with a backup camera. Of course, the ability to turn around and see what's behind you is kind of tough. So the backup camera helps. It automatically engages when you put the vehicle into reverse. You put it into reverse by going all the way to the right and back. That is reverse. These rear view mirrors also do a nice job of showing off what is behind you. Very nice. A little bit of vibration through the mirrors, but it isn't off-putting. Cruise control, yes. We've got cruise control to help us ensure that we aren't speeding aggressively. Even though I want to speed aggressively right here, speeding aggressively is always fun. Yes. Oh yeah, baby. Polaris claims a 0 to 60 just under 5 seconds in this vehicle. It's not the fastest thing on the road, but nor is it the...
Alright, so for all of these speakers, you're going to have the same pairing process. Once you power up the speaker, it's automatically going to be in Bluetooth error mode. Just go to your phone's Bluetooth menu and select the Skull Candy speaker. Now, if you notice, it does have 4 little rubber stoppers on the back, so you can set it up just like this, or you can use the loose strap and hang this right in your bathroom. Alright, so let's try it out. You got play and pause, volume up and down, skip and reverse tracks. Let's hit play. Okay, now let's get maximum volume. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm impressed. Now, when you lay it on the table like this, you actually hear a lot of bass. For $30. This is a dope little speaker. Let's try this again. Watch this. Hit play. Let's get to the next song. Go to the previous track. So this is how it sounds. smaller than your iPhone. Oh, this is no. this is a go. So I think we're gonna have good luck with these Skull Candy speakers today. This is the Skull Candy ounce, $30, definitely worth it. Let's keep it moving. All right, so next up, so you're gonna be able to accurately see your battery life. All right, so let's pair this one up. All right, so it's all paired up. Now let's try some music. And we're gonna start off at maximum volume. Now I gotta compare two of these together wirelessly. But you can't go wrong with either one of these. Matter of fact, let's do a quick side by side. We're gonna start off with the Kilo. Now here's the ounce. Here's the Kilo. Here's the ounce. Now, if my ounce is a win, but the Kilo for $40, this is a steal. All right, so far we're 2 for 2 with the Skull Candy speakers. Let's keep it moving. Next up, volume up and down, skip the reverse tracks. Oh, look at that. This is going to be vibrating. Okay? Oh, top and bottom. Oh, let's pair this one up and check it out. All right, so here we go. Terrain Mini, $40. Now this is maximum volume. Let's see if we get some vibrations. Okay, now for $40, let's do a quick side by side with the Kilo and the Terrain Mini. Here's the Kilo. Here's the Terrain Mini. Okay, this is kind of weird. Now, to me, it sounds like the Kilo sounds better. The Kilo definitely has more of a bright sound, and it has more highs and mids. The Terrain seems to have a little bit more bass though. Let's try this again with a different song. A song that has a little bit more bass. Yeah, you can feel the bass. Okay. Now let's try the same song on the Kilo. Oh no, the Kilo definitely sounds better. Yeah, the Kilo, but for just sound quality, I would definitely get the Kilo over the Terrain Mini. Let's keep it moving. Alright, so next up, you're going to see the bass shaking on the top and the bottom, playing chords, skipping reverse tracks, volume up and down. Let's go ahead and pair it up. Alright, here we go. This is the Terrain, maximum volume. I gotta be honest with you, this one actually sounds good. Now let's do a quick side by side with the Terrain Mini and the Terrain. Here's the Terrain Mini. Same song. Here's the Terrain. Okay. Alright, so I got one more speaker I want to show you how. Alright, so last up, in the radiators. Okay, and this one does have a little carrying strap also. Okay, now let's pair it up. Alright, so this is the Terrain XL max volume. Here we go.
Yo, sound test, proper sound test. Everybody shut your mouth, proper sound test. Proper test that quality sound test. How's it sound, Floss? How's it sound, Floss? How's it sound? How's it sound now? Does it sound loud? How's the bass minute? How's the treble? How's it sound now? How's it sound now? That's a sound test. That's a motherfucking sound test. That's a sound test, baby. That's a test. That's a motherfucking sound test. How's the sound on that shit? God damn it,
Okay. Now, at $80, this one definitely sounds the best. Now let's do a quick side by side with the Terrain versus the Terrain XL. Here's the Terrain.
Yo, sound test, sound test. Everybody shut your mouth, proper sound test. How to test that quality sound test. How's it sound, Floss? How's it sound, Floss? How's it sound now? How's it sound now? Does it sound big? Does it sound loud? How's the bass music? How's the treble? How's it sound now? How's it sound now?
Here's the XL.
Yo, sound test, proper sound test. Everybody shut your mouth, proper sound test. How to test that quality sound test. How's it sound, Floss? How's it sound, Floss? How's it sound now? How's it sound now? Does it sound big? Does it sound loud?
Here's the regular Terrain.
Sound test. That's a motherfucking sound test.
Here's the XL. Okay, so you heard it for yourself. This one sounds the best. Now I want to show y'all one more thing. Alright, so now let's try true wireless stereo. That means you can pair two speakers together wirelessly. Here's how you do that. Go to the first speaker, hit the power button 3 times.
True wireless pairing.
Go to the second speaker, hit the power button 3 times.
True wireless pairing. True wireless connected.
And there it is, just that simple. Alright, so let's try some music.
Yo, sound check. Sound check. Everybody shut your mouth. Have a sound check. That quality of sound check. Have a sound plus. Have a sound plus. Have it sound. Have it sound loud. Does it sound big? Does it sound loud? Have it sound loud. Have it sound loud. Have it sound loud. That's a sound loud. That's a motherfucking sound test. That's a sound test, baby. That's a motherfucking sound test. Have a sound on this shit, goddammit.
Now this is pretty dope. Now I want to show y'all one last thing. Alright, so now let's try multi-link. That means you can pair up to 99 speakers together if they're multi-link compatible. So here's what you do. First speaker, you're going to hold the play and volume up.
Sharing multi-link.
Okay. Now, same thing on the second speaker.
Ready to pair. Joining multi-link.
And the third speaker.
Connected. Ready to pair. Joining multi-link. Connected.
Now, we got 3 speakers paired together. Now remember, you could go all the way up to 99. Here we go.
I got a question for you. How many times you knew I was taking for you? I've been doing the line, glad to record for you. I was front line, I was record for you. Tracking, king got myself, I was stepping for you. Took the L to the lesson for you. Took one night to the blessing for you. Anything that I do sounds special for you. But I wouldn't do nothing special unless it's for you. Like, let's think about it, bro. And I can't sleep at night when I think about it. Niggas think they got it, but I really got it. Niggas think they conquered, but I really profit. I don't let the time, got it really poppin'. Niggas window shopping, I'm really confident. From the city where niggas be milli rockin'. I might pull up the 650s with silly options, but it's the mathematics. Still stick around if I ain't had cabbage. When you come to my shows, if I rap average. Step on my floors and my bad habits. Deal with my rules from the black status. I'll never be so wild, I'm a black status ever. Ready for that ride in the black caddy. Like my son, run son, tell him ask daddy. He'll be mad happy. I'm just trying to chill.
This is the Ferrari P4 from Hot Wheels. In real life, there's not very many of these cars, so odds are you won't get one. Your chances are much better with this excellent Hot Wheels version. Those of us who have spent time playing Forza 2 should be familiar with this car because 2 volcanoes have been conquered. Please reference classic Toy Room at 333.